Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rimmer, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. I hope all of you are doing well, hanging on in there, and keeping things moving. This is segment number 213, if you can imagine. Segment number 213. We are rocking and rolling. Happy Tuesday to all of you. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rimmer, CEO and executive producer of This Is It Network. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network, connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do that through our growing community, our engaging content, and our real connections. So I'm super excited that I'm hanging out with all of you and sharing with you our morning message. My morning message each and every morning. I come to you at 11 o'clock Eastern in hopes of keeping you inspired while you stay motivated throughout the week. And I'm excited about today because I was talking to a number of different people about expertise. I was talking to a number of different people about being experts in various categories, and so many people have various opinions about this. And I'm pretty straightforward as it relates to this. I was asked in an event not too long, like years ago. I shouldn't even say not too long ago. Years ago, somebody had raised their hand and said, what kind of advice would you provide to somebody who's attempting to be an expert within a specific area? And I blunted out. I said it was to, in fact, be an expert. I think that there's a lot of people out there kind of faking the funk. And I think that ultimately you're only doing yourself and your community a disservice when we do that. I think that being an expert, having a sense of expertise is such a privilege and an honor in and of itself. And I think as we build, happy Tuesday, Lisa, as you build your community, as you build your personal brand, as you build your expertise, you should share with your community, your clients, your customers, that expertise that is in fact. A lot of people, want to claim to be experts when they're not necessarily experts, want to claim that they are capable when they're not capable. I think that there's always an audience and a community and a client base, whatever stage you are at the game. But all of it means that you have to and are required to do work. The work is not anything that can be skipped. And I, as a young woman, at 21 years old, I wanted to skip. I wanted to be the CEO. I wanted to be the director, but had directed no one. I wanted to be the manager, but had managed no one. I wanted to skip all of the work. I wanted the business card and the corner office, but I did not want to do the work. This is coming from somebody who is an aggressive worker, somebody who is an extrovert by nature, somebody who wants to be in the thick of it. I wanted to skip it. I wanted to have, again, that corner office. I wanted to be the CEO. I wanted to have all of the accolades and not the work. I realized that everything that I have today, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it came from doing a lot of work. All of the ugly resulted in lessons. All of the valleys resulted in what I know more now. And I think that those who want to skip the work are not only doing themselves a disservice, but they're doing their communities and their customers a disservice as well. And it isn't because I want you to endure hardship or I want you to be able to suffer because I've suffered. That's not what this is. This is about not abuse. This isn't about being in an abusive, work environment. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting putting in the work, knowing what you know and know what you don't know, being able to learn things that you are not familiar with, be able to dive into things that you do not know, uncharted territories, in order to make yourself a better professional, in order to gain the expertise that you need, in order to better serve your customers or clients. All of that is necessary. And so often we find ourselves attempting to skip the process, thinking that we can miraculously be on the other end of it. I could print 20 million business cards from Vistaprint, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a director. It doesn't mean that I'm a manager. It doesn't mean that I'm a CEO. It just means that I'm self-employed. But I want to be an expert. I want to know the right things to say, the right things to do so I can help my community, so I can help my customers, so I can be more knowledgeable in what it is that I claim to know. And so many of us want to skip the work. So many of us want to skip the work because it is painful, because it takes a long time, because it's uncomfortable. We want to skip the work. We do not want to be comfortable being uncomfortable. We want to just skip it. But there are so many lessons within the work. There's so many lessons within the work. There's so many, a better understanding within the work. There's a clearer journey, not only for ourselves, but how we manage others, how we encourage others. How many of us have been managed by people who don't necessarily have never done the work, right? We feel a certain type of way about those people. We're rolling our eyes in the back of our head because we're like, you have no idea what you're talking about. No one can say that to me. No one can say that I don't know because I've done it. Because no one can say that I won't schlep the tables or drive the car or show up in that space. Those who have worked with me know that that's the case. I might not have all the right answers, but I do, in fact, do the work. So for me, for all of you today, it's about understanding the importance of participating in your journey. Not just saying that you're on it, not just being happy owning your own business, but putting in the work that is required of that business to make you an authority within that space, within that industry. Allow for people to invest in you because they know that you are accredited in the space. They know that you have experience in the space. They know that you can speak to the space. You need to do the work. And it's not necessarily for me to torture you. Good morning, Orinthia. It's not for me to torture you. It's not for me to say, oh my gosh, you just want me to show my work and it's beneath me. It's so you can feel what your employees are going to feel. So you can understand how to manage them because you've done it before. You can understand how to lead them because you are walking with them in the work that needs to be done. So many of us want to skip the work. So many of us don't want to do the work. I can't tell you the amount of people just want to have a show but don't want to do the work. The amount of work that it has taken me, the years that it has taken me to do what it is that I am doing. And I'm better for it. Was it uncomfortable? Yes. Were there more valleys than there were hills? Absolutely. Did I make a ton of mistakes? Yes, but I'm better for it because I did the work. Skipping the work does not only you a disservice, but your clients, your product, your business, your service, your organization, your event. It does all of you a disservice. You end up spending more money and more time cleaning up the mess because you did not participate in the work. We are better managers because we've done the work. We're better leaders because we've done the work. We're better presenters because we've done the work. We're better CEOs because we've done the work. No one can tell us that we are not capable. No one can come into the room and over-present to us because we have presented. We have done the work. And for those of you that are looking for an easy way out, and those of you who are looking to skip the work, it's not because I want you to suffer. It's not because I want you to burden yourself with a lot of unnecessary things, because I think that the work is necessary. I think that the work answers a lot of questions that we may have without it. I think that the work puts us and what it is that we're building in the forefront. I think the work makes us experts. And when you are an expert, when you are a certain sense of knowledge, when you come to the table with the know-how, you can do just about anything. You can lead and you can build and you can share and you can promote and you can be in that space because you have done it. And it's difficult when you haven't. And the majority of people know who hasn't. We can look at the people that we follow, fan, and like and say, she does not know what she's talking about. You are not going to be in that space with those people that, those beautiful, remarkable people that watch us and pay attention to us because you are willing to do the work. You are willing to be in the trenches, to roll up our sleeves, to dig in deep because we know that it's going to be better for us in the long run. It's going to afford us the ability to get stuff done. It's going to afford us the ability to move things forward because we're going to do the work. And I know that it is a difficult space. I know you're in a space where you don't necessarily know what it is the perfect path or the best path. But the only path is forward in doing the work. Because we're learning along the way. How many of you, your careers have changed? The technology has changed. My goodness, half of us would still be hanging out on MySpace if we weren't doing the work. If we weren't figuring out how to post or build our websites or send out email blasts, if we weren't looking to do the work. Now more than ever, there are more entrepreneurs than there ever was. Especially because, again, we're living in this quarantine, this transition of COVID where people are losing their jobs, being laid off, where they have to be and possess this entrepreneurial spirit. So we have to do the work. We have to participate in it. Not because I want you to suffer, not because I want you to do it the hard way because I did it the hard way. It's because the lessons live in the hard way. The lessons live where things aren't easy, in the road less traveled. That's where the lessons are. And so as your employees build and as people come to you, as you begin to teach, you teach based on lessons learned and the work you have done. And so therefore it becomes contagious, right? Your lessons become stories that they share in order to encourage people to do more and be better, and you become an expert. Without the work, there is no expertise. Without the case studies and examples, without you actually hosting the event, not just showing up, without you not being in the space, without not sharing your own testimony and testimonials, you're not in the space. You're just an innocent bystander. You're just an observer. But you must be in the work. You must do the work, and you must gain the expertise. Because once you've done the work, once you've been in the space, once you have the expertise, no one can tell you anything. And instead of those that choose to critique, now you're sitting in a room with like-minded people, with fellow experts who are able to have intelligent conversations because you've earned your place in that room. You've earned your place at that table because you have done the work. You have done the work because you are willing to do the work. And the truth of the matter is that skipping of the work is not about someone who's won or got one over, because you will get gotten in a space where you have to show your work, right? My daughter's in 4th grade, and this new math, I seek inspiration in it, though I'm annoyed by it. I'm like, I don't have to show my work, but I get it. They're asking these young children to show their work. Show that why and how you understand how you got to that number. Right? Because we're not skipping that piece, because I want you to explain it in 7 ways to Sunday. I want you to explain how it works and how we're able to get there. You have to put in the work. Arinthia is on the call. I know she is, and she's on the morning message this morning. And as people who are sprinters, right? A lot of people just think that we ran together in high school, for those of you that don't know. And people just thought that it was this, you just run. You fast, you run. You got to put in the work. You got to extend that stride. You got to pump those arms. You got to keep your head straight. You got to put in the work. You have the natural talents. The majority of us do. We have the natural resources. The majority of us do. But the work is what creates excellence. The work is what creates expertise. The work is what takes you to the next level. The work. And all the connections in the world can't skip the work. And we know the individuals who have been given hierarchy and given things, and they have no work to back it up. They're seen differently. They behave differently. They're respected differently. We have talents, and we have resources, and we have things in which we bring to the table, but without the work, there is no expertise. Without the work, you cannot coach, right? Without the work, you can't be a leader. Without the work, you can't lead by example. You can't lead at all. So it's time to do the work. It's time to look at what it is that you have in front of you and roll up your sleeves and be prepared to do the work. Not to be tortured, not to be punished, not because it is, beneath you, but because it is simply for you. It is so you have a complete justification, good morning, Barbara, of everything that you have deserved, because you can show your work. So there is no question as it relates to your expertise and why you should be in the room. There is no question as it relates to what you have gone through in order to get to where you stand, because you have done the work. And do you have to explain it to everyone? Do you have to show your work? Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But the work that you show will justify your expertise and will zip up a lot of people that want to question why you belong where you are. I want you to do the work. I want you to do the work so you can share it with those that come after you. I want you to do the work so you can be in bigger rooms. I want you to do the work so you can justify the trials and tribulations of your journey, so you can explain to people what you can do right and what needs to happen. You need to do the work. And so many of us want to skip the work. And you think that I'm trying to punish you, or you think, hi, James. You think that I'm trying to say, hi, Messiah. You think that I'm trying to punish you. Or you think that I'm trying, telling you just wasting my time doing all this busy work. The work teaches you what you like and what you don't like, what you're good at and what you're not good at, what you need and what you do not need. The work justifies your expertise. And those that have done the work will be able to show up for what it is that they want. So I want all of us to, with enthusiasm and not with dread, with a willingness and not with frustration, begin to show up to do the work. I encourage you all to do so. I want you all to find your voice. I want you all to no longer whisper your wishes. I want you to tell your story. I want you all to scream your dream. I'm Cheldon Barlett-Rumor, and this is it. For more information on all that we've got going on, don't forget to follow, fan, and like us everywhere you find at This Is It TV, and tune in each and every morning for my morning message at 11 o'clock Eastern, right here on all of the platforms. For more information, to learn more, log on to thisisittv.com, and then also to watch all of our upcoming episodes and the great content in which we produce, log on to www.thisisit.tv. It's time for us to get to work, my friends. It's nothing to be feared. It's nothing to form frustration. There is so much more that we can justify if we just do the work. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care.